January 1st, 2022. We made it through 2021, and I have no idea what is going to happen in the year coming forward. But I do know that this is traditionally a time to revisit how we've been living our lives and set intentions for what we want in our future. And in the model I was always taught to follow, it was always setting intentions around things I wanted to accomplish. And what I want to suggest to you or invite you to do here today now is instead to start thinking and setting your intentions around how you want to be feeling in this year moving forward. And this is such an important step, not just for everybody, but especially for people who are recovering from narcissistic abuse or for people who are still experiencing abuse even after the end of a relationship because you're divorcing a narcissist. It can be really hard for the victims of narcissistic abuse or for people who are engaged in a long, drawn-out divorce battle with a narcissist to even imagine anything positive for themselves. I know for me, 3 years ago, if someone had asked me to write a list about what positive things I want to be feeling this next year, I would have come up flat. In fact, I can remember being in couples counseling with my ex many, many years ago. And at one of the very first sessions, the therapist was trying to ascertain, who we are and what we want from therapy. And they asked, what is it that you're hoping to get from this? And at the time, I didn't recognize it for what it is. But now I see that I actually had a full-blown panic attack in response to that question. I was so confused and had been so gaslit for so long that to even have somebody ask what I wanted filled me with panic and dread. And my answer was, well, that has nothing to do with anything. What I want is not relevant to any of this or this conversation. The whole focus is just, what do we need to accomplish in order for my ex to feel that he has what he wants? And the therapist let that go. And this is one of the reasons why maybe therapy isn't such a great solution, but that's for a whole other video. The point is that if you've been gaslit and projected on and emotionally abused and manipulated and held under someone's control for any amount of time, making that leap in your mind and your heart to what you want can be really hard, or it can feel impossible. So that's what I'm talking about here today. I just want to share with you the idea that instead of setting goals about what you want to achieve, think about setting some goals on how you want to be feeling in your day-to-day life. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit like or click subscribe if you find this information useful. So last year, my goals were to feel more peace, to feel more gratitude, and to feel more joy. But some ideas for people recovering from narcissistic abuse for how they might want to be feeling is safe, peace, freedom of time is a big one, because if you are divorcing a narcissist, at any moment you can get hit with an upsetting email that you have to respond to, some kind of legal action that you have to respond to, some kind of shenanigan around co-parenting that you have to respond to. They're masters at controlling and manipulating our time, even when they're not living with us anymore. So freedom of time can be a big goal. Connection with yourself, self-partnering, connection with others, creating healthy connection. Maybe receiving support or receiving care and love would be a good one. As victims of narcissistic abuse, we went years, maybe even decades, without receiving support or care, and instead just receiving disdain or contempt. So learning and being open to receiving care and receiving support can be a great goal. Another one you could try on is trust. How does it feel to trust yourself more often than not? How does it feel to trust that you are cared for and supported by the universe or God or whatever name you give to it more often than not? How does it feel to be responding to things from a place of centeredness and connectedness rather than just reacting? as you're making your list or as you're playing with this in your mind, and this could be something that takes you weeks or months to even hammer out, like, what are my goals? How do I want to be feeling? This is a difficult thing for somebody who's recovering from narcissistic abuse, because for so long it was not even a question for us. And if you've been abused for many years, you can't help but come to believe that you're not worthwhile, you're not worth loving, you're not supported, you're all alone. And so it really can be a lot of emotional work to stretch to the point where you're willing to even entertain that those things are possibilities. And so be patient with yourself. Take the time that you need and be playful about it. This isn't some test I'm handing you that you're gonna get a grade on. It's an idea that you can be playful with that might be helpful for you and your healing and your growth moving forward. I think this is a great thing to do with your kids too, is to set up like, hey, how do you want to be feeling this week or this month or this year? This year, as part of your recovery and your healing from your ex and your divorce and the co-parenting and all of it, my invitation to you is to play around in your mind and in your heart. If you have any extra time, get quiet with yourself. Just sit and get quiet. And what do you want to be feeling this year coming up? What feelings do you want to have as your day-to-day experience? What feelings and experiences do you want to have as the cornerstone of what you're going to build your life on this next year? This can serve us in the year coming forward, because in low moments, we can remember back to our intended desired feelings and think, where's the gap between what I'm feeling now and what I want to be feeling? And is there a way that I can let go of some expectation, or that I can find a way to feel peace right now, even though part of me is feeling fear? It just creates a touch tone to measure back on how you're going. I hope this video helped you. If it did, click all the buttons. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and take really good care.